Hello. In the last video, we covered the basic structure of a subtractive synthesizer, which is the most common type we can work with. But there's a lot more types, and in this video I will cover the most basic ones. Subtractive, FM or frequency modulation, sample-based, wavetable, additive, and granular. Subtractive synthesis, the one we spoke about in the last video, is probably the most common form of synthesis, where you start with a rich harmonic content and subtract parts of the signal by the means of a filter, for example. FM, or frequency modulation, it's a form of synthesis where you have a waveform called the carrier being modulated by other inaudible waveform called the modulator. Here we have my carrier on this instance of Serum. Is just a basic shape, a basic saw wave, and I will open up the second oscillator, take off its volume. I can pick another basic shape like sine wave, for example. And then in the first oscillator, I need to route the B oscillator to the A one. When we start tweaking with this, the difference with sample-based synthesis is that the waveform, rather than being created by the synthesizer in real time, is a previously recorded sound, a sample. Therefore, the instrument is commonly known as the sampler. With the sampler, we can manipulate and transform the previous recorded audio signal with the common tools of the regular synthesizer, as well as the audio playback. Wavetable synthesis is in a single oscillator you can store different waveforms or different stages of the same waveform to work with over time. This way you can introduce movement and even change the harmonic content of the oscillator by tweaking or modulator the wavetable position. While subtractive synthesis revolves around starting with harmonically rich content, additive synthesis is quite the opposite, stacking up a number of harmonic partials that when added together create harmonically rich sounds. The results of this process reveal way more definition and precision, since we only add the content that we need, instead of having too much of stuff we want to get rid of. In this instance of Serum, I have a basic sawtooth waveform loaded in the oscillator. We can see all the harmonic content here on the harmonic series of this waveform. As we spoke in the previous video, each one of these harmonics is a sine wave. So if I erase them all and put just one, it's what we get, no matter which one. The process of additive synthesis is adding these harmonics on the way we choose and like, and we can have several results. Granular synthesis is a kind of sample-based synthesis, but in this case, it splits the sample in tiny microscopic slices of audio called grains. This allows playback to jump around to different grains in the sample. Grain size, volume, position can be tweaked and modulated in order to achieve new and interesting sounds. Granular synthesis. There are more types of synthesis, but these are the most common. And now I will invite you into some sound making sessions where we put all this in practice.